All right. Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Brock Ingmeyer with the League, and I'm here with Kate Cooley and Nikki Harrison. And we wanted to say thanks for coming and meeting us on this webinar today, but we wanted to talk about the website. It's been a little bit of a transition from our past website, as I'm sure you've noticed. Hopefully by this point, you've had the opportunity to get in there, take a quick look around. And so today what we really want to do is pretty much give you a one-by-one, step-by-step instruction as to how to sign up, but then also illustrate to you some of the new features of the website compared to the old site and how it's probably going to be user-friendly for you in the long run and be a better resource moving forward. So a lot of the times, one of the questions that we get asked is why the new platform? Why was this platform changed from the old platform? And one of the largest reasons is ultimately because we felt as if this newer platform offered more user friendliness, the ability for you all on your end to engage with the league the opportunity to engage more freely with you, and we think it's going to facilitate better communication and our ability to share information with our member cities, in addition to member cities sharing information with other member cities. And so ultimately, because the primary tool of any given website is to facilitate communication and share resources, we feel as if this new platform will do just that. So kind of in improving these functionalities and sharing of information, facilitating communication, we do think that this website is going to be a little bit more user-friendly compared to the last website because it's going to give you a lot more up-to-date information about training, about events, about educational opportunities. Later on today in the webinar, we're going to talk about the new online store feature that will be different than what you've experienced in the past with our old website. And so what we really want to get and drive home today is that despite the fact that this is a new platform, it might take, a little bit to get used to, but in the long run, it will be more beneficial and it will be a more user-friendly platform than what we used to have. So in addition to kind of some of the other things that we had on our old site, we've added some new features that we're going to talk about today, some new resources and information that I think you all will find incredibly helpful as you're navigating, your city operations and processes on a daily basis. One of the most notable things is that you'll notice when you get onto the website that we have members-only content compared to public content. And I think one of the big reasons is that we really want to illustrate to you that we do value the data that you share with your member cities, the data that you ultimately share with us, and the data that we ultimately collect to share with you. And member-only pages on this website and members-only content allows us to share that data in a secure and a safe fashion. And so we'll talk more later on about kind of the rationale and a bit about the differences between public content and member-only content. But for now, I think that's kind of a good starting point to kind of get into a little bit, not just about the platform itself, but also just the basic step-by-step instructions about how to sign up and register for the website and to get folks involved from your city in the website as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kate.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and hop on over to the new website. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time here walking you through how to sign in and utilize as a user. Now, we did put together two separate guides. One we mailed directly to clerks. You hopefully have already received it by now in order to use that and invite your city personnel to become members of the site. The other guide that we have put together can be found in the July issue of the KGJ, which should be hitting mailboxes this week if they haven't already. But you can also find a version of this quick start guide for individuals under the About section down in FAQ. Now this guide is going to be for, like I said, the individual user to access the site. So for sign-in's sake, you can do it one of two ways. First, if you received an invitation directly from your clerk or key contact, we encourage you to go ahead and use that link that they provided to get registered and logged into the site. If by some reason you have not received that link yet, go down to the sign-in box and you'll click on Haven't Registered Yet to get you started. Now, we did populate the website with data that we currently had in our Directory of Kansas Public Officials. So more than likely, you could already exist within the system. It's just a matter of getting it activated. So the first thing you'll want to do is go down to username, and in order to try to find your current profile, you'll just go ahead and type in first name and last name, no spaces. So I'll use myself as an example here. And then click continue. Now it's going to tell me that I'm already registered. So you'll go ahead and click there to reset your password. It'll send an email automated to the current email address that we have on file. If for whatever reason that process still is not quite right, it's not working properly, we encourage you to contact the League, and either myself, Nikki, Renee, even Brock, many of us here can help you get through that process. So I'm going to go ahead, for time's sake, and I'm going to log in as myself to show you some of the features of your own user profile. Okay, so now that I'm logged in, it's going to bring up my personal profile. You'll have the ability to edit your professional information. There's some fields down here to add additional info. We encourage everyone to upload a profile picture so that you're recognizable, maybe off-site, you go to conference, and you've connected with someone online, but now you'll be able to put a face to a name. To navigate from here, anytime you need to go back to the home page, you'll click the League logo at the top. And now this sign-in box has turned into a place to navigate to your profile anytime you need to. Manage profile will get me back to a field where I can edit my bio info, edit my preferences. There's an idea box. I can submit new ideas. And then I can branch into the online community, which Nikki will cover here in just a little bit, and message my colleagues and have some other features included in there. With that, if any of you at any time need help resetting your password, logging into the system, or anything of that nature, again, the League is here as your resource. And again, that quick start guide can be under About, FAQ, and you can pull down that PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Nikki, who will talk about the online community.
Good morning. Okay, as Kate pointed out, you now have the ability to message members of your groups or people that you have connected with directly. You can also do a lot of other things. You can share documents. Let me start with just explaining what the online community is. It's going to allow members to directly connect with their peers and resources. While we work to improve the functionality of the directory and new features that we'll be rolling out, there are many features that are already available. The new site will enable the League to effectively communicate with you about opportunities that are available, resources, and the most current issues relative to your position. Some of the things that you can do, as Kate mentioned, you can set up and maintain your own personal profile, add that nice professional profile photo. You can build connections with the other colleagues. You can also join groups, peer groups. These groups will be people that are in the same position as you, they're doing the same things that you are, and you can kind of network with them to discuss projects and work out details. You can also share documents. There isn't a file share, but you can send documents through the system to be shared. And Kate did also mention here, now here's what your inbox looks like, but Kate mentioned the idea box, and we'll go back to that in just a second. You can manage folders, so if you wanted to create a folder just like you do in your typical inbox, you can do that. You can move them around, delete them, you can maintain, you can keep an archive of the messages you've sent. And if you just click this, it brings up the directory so that you can reach out to a group or a specific position. If you just typed in here a specific position, it would bring up members that had the same position that you listed. Let's go. Sorry about that. If you click back to your Manage Profile page, you're going to see in here, this is all the options that you have as an individual. You can set your preferences, edit your bio. Any invoices that are run through the system are going to show up here so you can keep track of them. That feature is currently being worked on, so once we get that finalized, you'll see that a little more prominent. Here is the idea box. Anytime you have an idea that you think the league should look into or something that you want to maybe share with other people, you can submit it here. You can also go in and edit it. Other members can see it. The league monitors these, so we will get back to you if we have more questions or we wanted to gather more information about that. And here we have a very quick way. If you had a colleague that was not currently using the site, you can send this to them. Oh, apparently you cannot. We'll look into that. My apologies. I should have checked that before. And all your changes will show up immediately, and you can set your preferences to email you when somebody notifies you, or you can turn that off and just check them as you feel the need. The online community is going to be growing, and it's going to be changing all the time. So if you're not currently interested, please check back, because there may be things that we've added or groups that have been developed that you may be very interested in networking with. And I believe now we're going to move on to a few other features that Kate is going to present.
Okay, well now we've referred to members-only content versus public pages. And just as a quick overview, I'm going to show you a couple of the main sections right now that are members only. If you by chance were not logged into the system right away and you tried to access any of these members only pages, it would first bring up a prompt encouraging you to log in so that you can see those. The two main pages right now are under services, and you can find them under legal. Sample ordinances is a big one. This is now a private members only page. So this is where you're going to go to pull down any sample ordinances for your city. The other legal aspect that is members only is the FAQ section. Our legal staff here put together questions, our most frequently asked questions and answers to those questions, and put them in a nice repository here on the site. Again, this is a members only page. So we're going to be growing that members only content as we move forward. Another feature that we hope to get to on down the road are going to be things like on-demand training, where we post videos that are only accessible to members. The other thing that's changing is the online store and the ability to order any publications through the website directly. This is under services and publications. Again, we encourage you to be logged in as a member and utilizing the site in order to be eligible for members-only pricing. You can search for publications one of two ways. Down here at the very bottom, you click on this picture, and it's going to bring up the entire list of publications that the League offers and maintains. The other way to search for publications is if you know exactly what you're after. For example, the STO and UPOCs are now available for this current year. So you can type it into your search bar and find exactly what you're looking for. And then you're going to go through and add it to your cart, just as if you were shopping online at any other outlet, Amazon Old Navy, what have you. So you just go through, and again, it's going to tell me that this is my member price since I'm logged into the system. I can change my quantity here and then add it to my cart. Since I am logged in, again, it's going to tell me, it's going to go ahead and auto-populate all of those fields since I am logged into the system. And then you just follow all the prompts and continue on and check out. So that is a new feature that we are very excited about. Now, right now, we do not accept credit card payments online, but again, that's something that we are hoping to add as a feature on down the road. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm going to show you is the event registration. All of our events are, well, even in the past, we had the ability to register online for our events. So we're continuing that practice. And right now, you can actually see the full event calendar. You can get to it two ways. Under events, and then it's under MTI, you can see the full event calendar here. Or most pages internally have this little sidebar here with the calendar of events. So it's going to bring up the full list that we currently offer. Right now, it includes all of the MTI trainings for the remainder of the year and annual conference. Regional suppers will be added here very soon. A couple of great features of the online event management system. When you click on an event, you'll bring up the full description. You can add it to your Outlook calendar so you don't forget about it, which is really nice. And then another great feature that we have is the ability to view the other colleagues that have registered for the event. So that's just another way that you can connect with the folks that share your same position. Again, this is another feature where you want to make sure that you are logged into the system in order to be eligible for the member pricing. And then I also want to point out, for those of you who are currently in the MTI program or are looking to complete any of your levels, by the start of 2017, we are hoping to roll out the ability to have you maintain and track your own credits within the program. You'll be able to log in to your profile and check where you are with regard to credits in any given level. And then if you attend an outside training, you'll be able to submit those through the site as well. With that, I will turn it back over to Brock, who has some additional features of the new site to point out.
All right. Well, I just wanted to focus on a few items that I think you'll see are reminiscent of the old site, but that we've improved to where it should aid you in kind of your day-to-day operations and seeking out information, seeking out resources, and how the league can be of benefit to you. So first off, the first item that I wanted to hit on was some of our new features under resources. I think one thing that you'll see is that we have a variety of different resources available that our old site did not. The two most prevalent that are probably brand new would be grants and external funding, as well as municipal research and data. So for instance, if we were to go to grants and external funding, I think one of the things that you'll find out about this new and improved site is that it's incredibly easy for us on the back end to upload information, but then on the front end of it, it's also incredibly user-friendly for you just to access that information in an organized fashion. And so, for instance, with this new page that we've developed out, we've created a comprehensive list of available and known sources of external funding, whether they be loan programs, whether they be grants available to communities, and we've collected them into one comprehensive list that should make it easy for you to sort and search for different opportunities for. And the way that it works basically, and you'll see this type of structure on a multitude of our pages, but if you go to this page, you go to this list, and you'll go down to hypothetically if you needed a grant for economic and community development. What'll pop down is a list of different opportunities, and these opportunities arise out of the state government, federal government, as well as private foundations. And so this should be available to you as members as a function of the website. One of the things that I think is really important for local areas to kind of think about is especially with the federal government databases. As much as we would like to make sure that this list is as comprehensive as possible, and it's something that we think we have done, we also know that we're never going to have 100% of all grant opportunities listed on our website. And so one of the things that we've added is a sources for you to go to kind of look at a variety of different federal grant opportunities. So for instance, with grants.gov, one thing you'll notice is that if you use it as a search function, there are over 1,000 different grant opportunities available specific for local municipalities. And so we think that these resources in the long run really should be of benefit to you. We're going to keep information such as this. We're going to keep information such as the municipal research and data page constantly updated with information to the best of our ability. I think one of the things that you'll see with some of these new features especially is that we're starting to incorporate more interactive data within the website itself. And so for instance, if you ever have a question with the new tax lid, what the new inflation rate is for the month, you can always come to this page, and this page will always be updated with the new CPI inflation data on a monthly basis. And then there's a variety of different information that you can find out underneath these resources. So the next thing that I briefly wanted to highlight was from a legislative standpoint. In the past, what you've seen with our legislative tracking is that generally speaking, we'll post some type of bill number, a bill name, and then a bill summary with a link with a hyperlink to our testimony that we provided in committee on that bill. Well, we felt as if we could make this a little bit more interactive for you in the long run, but at the same time, also ensure that you guys are getting the most up-to-date information on a weekly basis, on a daily basis if need be. And so what we've done is that this is somewhat of a beta version of what we call our legislative tracking page. And so you can see that it's from this past session, and it's information that includes what the last action was. So hypothetically, if we're in the middle of the session in February and a bill was just passed out of committee, as soon as we're able to get to a computer to mark it down, possibly the next morning after it happens, in that last action category, we'll note that it passed out of committee. So instead of maybe waiting for that Friday league news to come out to hear about what type of legislative events are occurring during the session, this new page should give you a more up-to-date functionality as opposed to having to wait for that Friday. And it should give you a little bit more information that you're looking for, such as a link directly to the bill. In addition, it'll tell you directly who you should contact, who is in charge of kind of coordinating the efforts surrounding this bill. And as always, it will also include the different types of testimony that we've provided with each individual bill. But we really feel as if in the long run, because of how user-friendly the front side of this site is, as well as how easy it is for us to upload information on the back end, this is going to make everyone's lives hopefully a lot easier to access information and to ensure that you guys are caught up to date with bills that are of interest to you. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to kind of point out to you was kind of an important aspect of the site that we've used in the past and that we know a lot of our member cities like to keep engaged with, and that's with League News. The League News page is looking a little bit different compared to what you've seen in the past on our past website, but the functionality should be all the easier for you, and it shouldn't be for a lack of not knowing where to go to find it. It should be readily available. On our home page, what you'll find is you'll find out a big button that says League News. If you click on that, every week you'll find out what our new League News is for that week. And so it's got a different look, it's got a new feel to some degree, but at the end of the day it still serves the same purpose as our old League News. You'll still receive the exact same email that you have every Friday from us with regard to the League News, so nothing out of that should change, but just kind of where you can find it on the home page might change a little bit. If you're interested in looking for past League News, there's always copies available under resources, and with that League News, you'll see copies over the past 2 years. Something that you'll notice also with a lot of the content on these resources is that while we might only go back to the past 5 to 6 or even 7 years with some of the content that we offer from a historical perspective, please keep in mind that we're continuously updating the site. We're continuously adding more information from that historical perspective. And so if something's not readily available right now on the site, it either will be in the future, or feel free to contact us and we'll make sure that we get you the information that you need if it's from a past year. Okay, so with that kind of caught up and kind of a little bit of an overview in terms of what the new resources will look like and some of the new aspects, we're going to turn it back over to Kate and hopefully be able to answer a few new questions or a few questions that you guys might have about the new website.
Okay, it looks like we have a question up. Can you do a word search on the League new archive portion? Yes, the website actually has a search function at the very top of the page. We've actually found that this is very intuitive. You just need to type in your keywords and you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for. As an example, we'll just type in conceal carry. It's going to go ahead and hit anything with those two keywords on the entire site and bring up a multitude of documents and postings that we already have available.
Most of which are League News.
Yeah, most of which are hitting on League News or past League News. Okay, the next question. If the key contact sends an invitation to a member, do they use first name, last name with no spaces to log in? Yes, that is how it is set up right now. First name with last name, no spaces in the username. If it's still not hitting, say you're typing in Steve instead of Steven, we were basing it off of our past data that we had. If it's not up to date or was not correct somehow and the search is not finding that name, go ahead and contact us and we can help you through that. Okay. Okay, this next question is, please show how to change employees and council in the key people. This is going to be a function that is held out for the clerks or the key contacts. Those positions actually are maintaining the data for your entire city. I would ask that you contact us after we close out the webinar, and I can help you through that because that is going to be specialized just to key contacts. It is covered in the clerks and key contact manual that was mailed out last week. It's very simple, and we're definitely happy to walk you through that if you don't mind contacting us when we close out here. Okay, and the same question, how do I delete members who are no longer with the city?
There is, if you're already in the manage profile under your city employees, you'll see a piece of paper with a pencil on it next to the name, and then a second icon, and then a third and a fourth. The second icon says detach sub-account. You click that and it will remove that person from your city listing.
And if you still have questions, we encourage you to contact us. Okay, do we have any other questions? If not, I do want to still remind everybody, we are here as your resource. We're available to help you through this change. We know quite a few things are going to look a little bit different, but we're going to be able to bring things to you as far as resources online community. This website is going to give us a whole breadth of ability.
And we're very excited to hear any ideas you have. So if you want to send us a contact, you can contact us through the site and it'll email us directly, or you can submit ideas to the idea box.
Okay, thank you everybody.